How's it going, man?
Great seeing you.
Sorry about that. I had to throw out a bad thing.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. She's behind me. You didn't think I'd miss out on this, did you? No dead children today.
We need some tips for people. I don't know who I can get them.
Forgot about the hand. Good. How are you doing? You ready to escape?
Questions, Jessica?
Please remain standing. I invite you to pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for Center College. Thank you for this day of commencement. Thank you for the opportunity to gather in celebration for this precious time in our lives. Thank you for the opportunity to be students at Center College, for the faculty and the staff who have given their time, their lives, and their knowledge for our betterment, not only academically, but in all portions of our lives. Thank you for my classmates, for the beautiful cultures, homes, and experiences from which we have all come. Would you bless our time together today? Help us to cherish this time all together with hearts of gratitude for the gift of our center experience, hearts of humility as we enter this season of unknown trials and unforeseen joys, and hearts of anticipation and excitement for all that is to come. I pray this in Jesus' name, amen.
Welcome, and please be seated. I am so honored to welcome the members of the class of 2024, their parents, grandparents, siblings, families, and friends, to the 201st commencement exercises of Center College, and to declare that these exercises in the 205th year of this college are officially opened. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us to celebrate this momentous occasion in the life of the college. The Norton Center, where we are, is also celebrating its 50th year during our 201st year, celebrating with them in this building. From our extraordinary college have come leaders in government, law, medicine, service, education, the arts, science, and business. We're all over the place. While we have grown far beyond the budding institution founded over 200 years ago here in Danville, Kentucky, we have never grown beyond an intensely personal teaching and learning that encourages students to succeed at extraordinary levels and lead purposeful lives of continual curiosity and discovery. Our students, faculty, and staff and devoted alumni are recognized nationally and internationally with the highest of distinctions. Thanks to this incredible community, Center is recognized as one of the nation's best liberal arts and sciences colleges and as the Commonwealth's most prestigious institution. As we celebrate this commencement today with you, we take pride in your many accomplishments, class of 2024. You are now part of Center's ongoing story, a continuous 205 years of producing leaders and change agents for our world. You have now the toolkit to make a difference for good, and we look forward to watching you in all of your future endeavors. As we begin, I want to thank a few people and welcome them this morning. We're grateful for the leadership of our faculty marshals and the time and effort at these milestone events that they give to keep us all in order. Thank you to Professors Amos Tubb, Marie Petkus, Jeff Feeberg, Melissa Burns-Cusado, and Allison Conley. I'm also grateful for the many members of the college who help plan and host this event each year, especially Kelly Netchie and team, and Krista Reinhardt and her team. And finally, let's hear it for our incredible physical plant and Norton Center staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly this weekend. Thank you. Thank you also to Kathy Dyke and Becky Bush, our interpreters for our hearing impaired audience. And a special thanks this year to our English to Spanish translation from Adina Perez. We have much appreciation for their contributions to this momentous occasion. I also want to thank Zachary Klobnak, college organist and instructor of music, for his offerings in this morning's service. And finally, thank you, the parents, the family, the friends of the class of 2024, for your love, for your support, that have helped our graduates get to this moment. You have brought them here. We have brought them to the finish line. What a great day. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Ambassador Matthew Barzun. A resident of Louisville, Kentucky, Ambassador Barzun is a media entrepreneur, author, and former diplomat, having served as a U.S. ambassador twice, first to Sweden and then to the United Kingdom. When serving in the UK, the New York Times reported his unusual and I think endearing and pattern-setting approach to diplomacy, conducting workshops around the country with hundreds of people, including hundreds of students at a time, asking them about their hopes and fears. By the time he left, he had met with more than 20,000 people. This is how diplomacy works, people. This is how civic engagement works. In the early 1990s, Barzun was an internet pioneer, serving in executive roles at CNET. He is currently chair and publisher of Tortoise Media and the London-based online news service, and co-founded with the former director of the BBC. He's also owner and publisher of Louisville Magazine. Additionally, Barzun authored a terrific book I highly recommend, The Power of Giving Power Away: How the Best Leaders Learn to Let Go. Matthew serves on the boards of the National Public Radio and the National Constitution Center. He grew up on the East Coast, just outside of Boston, started his career on the West Coast, and for the last 20-plus years, he is happy to call the center of the country, right here in Kentucky, his home. He lives in Louisville with his wife, Brooke, and occasionally, when they'll come back around, his 3 college-age students, one of whom just graduated yesterday. Congratulations. He earned his undergraduate degree from Harvard University. It is now my honor to welcome Ambassador Matthew Barzun to Centre College. Welcome.
President Moreland, thank you for that introduction. What a joy it is to be together here with all of you. Thank you for including me in this magical moment. And to the class of 2024, congratulations, you made it to this moment, you made it together, and think back, you made it despite being locked down, masked up, penned in, and zoomed out. And a special thank you for replying online in the midst of your senior spring to my 3 get-to-know-you questions about hopes and fears, and for your thoughtful and thought-provoking responses, which is what I want to discuss today. Here's what you said when I asked you for one word to capture your hopes for the future and your place in it: freedom, food, arts, love, health, God, recovery, passion, drive, impact, energy, connection. The list goes on, as many different answers as there are graduates. Speaking of difference, one of you broke the one-word rule and wrote, "Make the world safe for difference." More on that and the other 2 responses in a moment. President Moreland is also, as you know, Dr. Moreland, an expert in decoding ancient texts. So who better to explain to me the meaning of the cryptic C6H0 that was carved into red brick more than 100 years ago, and then mysteriously made the leap onto every water bottle and hoodie on campus? Was it some kind of organic chemistry secret formula? For the handful here who may not know, it marks, of course, the final score of a football game in 1921 when the center team traveled up to my native Massachusetts and beat my alma mater, the Alabama of its day, 6-0 in what ESPN calls the 3rd greatest upset in the history of the sport. Harvard had won 12 national championships before then, 0 since. Thanks. I never went to graduate school, never got a master's degree, much less a PhD like Dr. Moreland and many of the legendary faculty up here with me here. And I don't think it's reflected in my regalia, but I am a two-time graduate of a strange thing called Charm School. That's the nickname the State Department gives to its 2-week course for soon-to-be ambassadors. The name's misleading. They don't teach you charm. Truth be told, they don't practice it either. It's mostly PowerPoint by day, and at night you cram from a binder full of facts about your host country. On the last day, there's a famous graduation ritual started back in the 1980s by the imposing and austere George Shultz, one of our longest-serving secretaries of state. I share this because I know almost all of you traveled or studied abroad during your time at Center. So you've each embarked on a diplomatic mission of sorts as well. He had this huge stand-up globe in the corner of his office, and he'd call in each ambassador-to-be, take them over to the globe, and say, "Now I'm going to spin this globe, and the moment it stops, I want you to point to your country as quickly as you can." Each ambassador would step forward to play and rush to put their finger down on Morocco or Malaysia or the Marshall Islands. Each would then look up expectantly at the secretary. And each time he would look down disapprovingly, shaking his head. "That is not your country." He'd turn the globe slowly around and put his finger down on the United States. "This is your country, and don't you ever forget it." Harsh. I failed the test. This globe-shaming exercise does serve a purpose, I suppose. It points out the dangers of what they used to call going native, forgetting where you're from in hopes of ingratiating yourself to a new place. When you do that, you're pandering. But that's not the whole story, because what is also true is that the opposite is just as bad. Pounding your chest with patriotic passion in hopes of impressing them with your power. When you do that, you're patronizing. If you pander, they won't respect you. If you patronize, they won't trust you. And if you try to alternate between the two tones in some kind of patronizing, pandering two-step, it will exhaust you and them. The truth is, and what I learned on the job, and from countless Foreign Service officers I served with, is that there's a third thing that needs to be acknowledged, served, and cultivated. It's not your country. It's not their country. It's the relationship that exists between them. It's where trust and respect live, and where understanding is possible. You can't point to it on a map, but it's real. Think of the friends sitting closest to you right now. There's you, there's them, and there's the third thing, the friendship between you. You may not have thought about it like this, but you know this, and I know you know this because you told me. When I asked you to reflect back on your time at Center and share one word to capture what you treasure most about it, nearly every single one of you wrote community, or a very similar synonym. Here's the paradox. The things that make community possible, like trust, respect, and understanding, cannot be achieved by going after them directly. In fact, if you do, it backfires. If I say to you, "Trust me, respect me," I have lowered the likelihood that that will happen. These things aren't products. They aren't products you can make directly. They are byproducts. They come as the result of something else. You each came here, teenagers, unknown to one another, and lecture by lecture, pizza by pizza, and yes, even Zoom by Zoom, you took risks, you asked for help, you made sacrifices, and bonds formed, many that will last a lifetime. We often make the mistake of thinking that we do hard things together because we're friends. And there's some truth to that, but the real secret is that we are friends because we have done hard things together. There are people who study this stuff, and they have a helpful term of art: coherence. It captures both the process of forming and reforming groups and also what you do together in those groups, trying to make sense of things together. This doesn't mean groupthink or why can't we all get along. It means a place for agreement and disagreement, gratitude and frustration, encouragement and skepticism, or, as one of you put it, a safe place for difference. Sounds like something we could all use more of these days. And yet, at graduations like this, older people like me who desperately want strong community bonds inadvertently sow the seeds of incoherence. We end up discounting and discouraging the very things we want. Here's what I mean. A few years ago, the good people at National Public Radio decided to find out what advice the older generation had been dispensing to the next generation. They collected more than 350 of the most cited and viral graduation speeches ever given and distilled each one down to a key message. Here are the top 5 bits of graduation advice. Ready? Change the world. Listen to your inner voice. Work hard. Don't give up. Embrace failure. Now, I think we all agree that there's some good to be had from each, and they're certainly better than their most obvious opposites. Sit out, shut up, slack off, give up, freak out. But there's something else going on in that advice. Let's list them one more time. Think of them all together this time, and imagine you had to doodle or draw a sketch of someone following this advice. Change the world. Listen to your inner voice. Work hard, don't give up, embrace failure. How many people would be in that picture? Just one person, all alone, right? It's almost as though we, up here at the lectern, are talking to each of you over there as if you were each setting out on a solo mission into space. Hey, at least you have your inner voice. And by the way, please come back and bring us something that will change the world. You'll fail again and again, but don't give up. High points for drama, but not a lot like real life. And it's even stranger when you think that the graduation speakers are looking out, as I am now, at these graduates surrounded by parents, grandparents, guardians, siblings, roommates, faculty, who all help them get to college and through college. Here's another one we pass along. See if you can complete this sentence. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, right? Pacing yourself is important, obviously, but lurking behind that cliche is another message. Think about it. Sprints and marathons have more in common than they are different. The message is clear. Life is a race in one set direction, and you do it all by yourself. One more. Have you seen the new Apple iPad TV commercial? It starts off with a huge table stacked tall with all the beloved tools of creativity and connection. A vinyl record player, a piano, a trumpet, oil paints, an old school stand-up arcade game, you get the idea. And then from above, a giant hydraulic compactor slowly crushes this as paint spurts out and pieces of instrument shrapnel fly. All this to the tune of a song called All I Ever Need Is You. Once everything is completely flattened, the slab pulls back to reveal the new iPad. The uproar was immediate. What were they thinking? Apple was built on creativity and connection, and now they are quite literally destroying the very thing they spent decades promoting, and then essentially saying to the rest of the world, you're welcome. The Greeks had a word for this. Anyone? Hubris. It's easy to point fingers at a big, rich tech company making such a colossally stupid and tone-deaf ad, but we do it too. Whether it's a solo space mission to change the world, a road race all alone, or all I need is an iPad, we are not only enabling, we are encouraging loneliness, alienation, and incoherence, cutting ourselves off from one another. This is not lost on you. When I asked you that final question, a word for what you feared most about your future, I heard it loud and clear. Division. That sounds scary, and it is. So I want to close with some good news. There's a bit of practical and tactical advice that you can practice daily in your life beyond center. It will give you immunity from this divisive and alienating advice that we push onto your generation, and it will help you become leaders in building communities of coherence wherever you go. It's a simple formula, so simple you could carve it into a wall or put it on a water bottle or a hoodie. It comes from 100 years ago, another ancient text. It comes from a person who was the most sought-after leadership speaker of their day, whose famous lecture became the top TED Talk of their time. A native of Massachusetts, they might very well have been at that famous, infamous C6H0 game itself. She lived nearby. Her name was Mary Parker Follett. She rose from street-level social work in Boston to become a top guru for CEOs, presidents, and leaders of all kinds. Think of her as the patron saint of coherence. She saw division too: racial, social, economic, political, everywhere she looked. The issues were big and systematic, but she saw that the whole thing hinged on something small and within our control. How we dealt with difference in meetings of any type at any scale, at work, at school, at home, wherever. She saw some trying to demonize difference. She saw others, including some of her fellow community activists, trying to dismiss difference. Her key insight that became her hit TED Talk, so to speak, was a set of simple rules of engagement for how to make difference constructive by dealing with it and thereby unleashing its potential energy. She said, every time you come to the table, anytime you meet, there are 4 possible outcomes, but only one is constructive. Bad outcome number 1, you win the meeting. You come in with an idea fully fleshed out and try to convince everyone to say yes to it. That's a waste, she said. You haven't made any use of the different expertise and experience around that table. Bad outcome number 2, you acquiesce. You think, well, Jasmine or John seem so passionate, just let them have their way. This time, it's you that's been wasted. Why did you even show up? Bad outcome number 3, compromise. This one can be hard to wrap our head around. We're all taught that compromise is good, but Follett explained the hidden danger. To make her point, she used a story of electrifying her house for the first time. Remember, this is 100 years ago. She had an idea of exactly how she wanted to illuminate her home, and when the electrician came, she laid it out and expected him to say, "Yes, ma'am." But he shook his head. "Nope, not possible. That's against the code. If you do it your way, your house will burn down." So he laid out his plan. This time it was her shaking the head. "Nope, sir, that won't work. I won't want to live in a house that's lit up like that." Follett puts compromise in that context. If she and the electrician compromised, they would end up with half the house with her plan, which would burn down, and half the house that is up to code but unlivable. So what's the answer? That brings us to the 4th and the only good outcome of a meeting. You make something new together. She and the electrician make a new plan for wiring that she's happy with and he can sign off on. Their differences weren't demonized or dismissed. They weren't discounted either. They were acknowledged and dealt with constructively to make a new thing. Now, I realize that might sound mundane because we confront these situations all the time, but Follett reminds us of the magic in it. The plan they left with that day didn't exist before they met. They co-created a third thing together. And the byproducts of this hard work, trust, respect, and understanding, increased. They both left that encounter just a little bit changed. Here's an even simpler formula if all these do's and don'ts on a Sunday morning are a bit much. Come to each and every meeting you have, in real life or on Zoom, with these 3 expectations. Expect to need others, expect to be needed, expect to be changed. These 3 expectations may not sound as exhilarating as expecting to change the world, but I believe they are much more likely to result in just that. Ilya Prigozhin, a Nobel Prize laureate in chemistry who studied complex systems, once said, and I quote, "When a system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to shift the entire system," end quote. In our world today, with sharp divisions and depleted levels of trust, respect, and understanding that often feels like a sea of chaos, we need most what you have been doing here at Center and what we need you to keep doing after you leave. As I look out at you now, I don't just see hundreds of talented individuals. I do see that. I don't just see one amazing class of 2024. I do see that. I also see a third thing. In fact, many third things. I see islands of coherence, islands you have formed here with friends, former foes, and faculty, as you made things together, made sense of the world and your place in it together, and finally made it to this day together, made it through college together. If the Nobel laureate were to express that as a chemical compound, it might just be C6H0, the secret formula of organic chemistry between people that you all have unlocked and made possible. The letter C, continuing to deal constructively with difference, 6. H, having it all figured out by yourself, 0. Or, simpler still, coherence, 6, hubris, 0. So, class of 2024, as you go forth from here, please don't forget that, and please keep running up the score. Thank you.
Indeed. C6H0. Sorry about that Harvard thing, but we're glad you took it so kindly and came to speak to us today. Thank you so much, Ambassador Barzan, for your inspirational message to this class and to us. Your wisdom is incredible, and I must say, in this world we're living in, extremely timely. Thank you. I would now like to invite Associate Dean Alex McAllister to the podium for the awarding of prizes. Alex.
Today I have the honor of announcing the 3 students from the Center College class of 2024 who've won the valedictorian prizes. These prizes are named in honor of Gavin Easton Wiseman and George Winston Welsh, Center heroes. I will announce these students all at once. If you could please hold your applause until I've named all 3, and then we'll celebrate them all together. Valedictorians, when I call your name, please come forward to be recognized and receive your medals. This year's valedictorians are Roma Kishore Desai, Matthew Jefferson Foster, and Riley June Fowler. Congratulations.
Let's do this. The baccalaureate degrees, which have been awarded by the vote of the Board of Trustees of Centre College on the recommendation of the faculty, will now be conferred.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you the members of the senior class who have completed requirements for graduation and, upon recommendation of the faculty, have been approved by the Board of Trustees to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Centre College and on the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer on you the respective degrees of Bachelors of Arts or Bachelors of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations!
You may now move your tassels from the right to the left. You may be seated. We'll now get ready to introduce the individual graduates. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, John Samuel Adams, summa cum laude. Ibrahim Mohammed Alabusi, cum laude. Priyana Vasconcelos Alper. Lana Amudi, magna cum laude. Maya Journey Arnold. Zao Victor Medeiros Azevedo, magna cum laude. Eleanor Eileen Bailey, summa cum laude. Carter Montgomery Boffman. Conlon Daniel Beck, summa cum laude. Jose Marcos Bibiano, magna cum laude. Christian Blake Billiter Jackson. John Wesley Bingaman, cum laude. Sharika Nicola Bird. Carly Chenlu Bishop, magna cum laude. Jaden Michael Blanton, in absentia. Kaylee Carol Boyles. Elizabeth Lee Bryles. Taylor Alexis Broder, cum laude. Kirsten Shea Bryant. Ella Olivia Birch, summa cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Burt, cum laude. Luke Douglas Campbell. Samuel Graves Carlson. Levi Sims Chandler, summa cum laude. Jasmine Sade Clonch. Dylan Thomas Croft. Joseph Allen Deschler. Dallas Cole Douglas. Helen Elizabeth Driver, summa cum laude. Avery Elizabeth Duschel. Macy Brooke Dukes. Claire Elizabeth Edelin, summa cum laude. Jasmine Eve Ellick. Donald M. Fairbairn III, summa cum laude. Joseph Elliott Falcon, cum laude. Thomas Charles Field. Gavin John Fields. Haley Hope Finch, magna cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Foropoulos, magna cum laude. Peyton Lee French, cum laude. Eleanor Kate Grubbs, cum laude. Ashley Neville Guerrero Lima. Sarah Louise Hancock. Anya Mani Hartman, magna cum laude. Lillian K. Hendricks, magna cum laude. Joseph Paul Higgins. Sophie Claire Hudkins. Aiden Ross Whiteman Isaac. Ronald Arthur Jenkins, cum laude. Tashiri Emmanuel Jenkins. Julie Catherine Johns. Joseph Demery Johnson, magna cum laude, in absentia. Madeline Rose Jordan, cum laude. Annabelle Ford Justice, magna cum laude. Benjamin Lee Justice, cum laude. Piper Madison Kesey, summa cum laude. David Esteban Kirshner Leon. David Jameson Kinsbrunner, in absentia, baseball. Avi Lee Leffler. Brian Vladimir Leon. Lila Elizabeth Lemuti. Nathaniel Anthony Mullaby. Audrey Catherine Marshall, magna cum laude. Idrialis Mariana Matos Dominici. Joseph Stephen Matthews. Nathaniel Jeffrey Matthews, cum laude. Aiden John Maxey. Margaret Irene Mayrose, magna cum laude. John Patrick McDowell. Peter Michael McCown. Natalie Page Middleton. Yuan Tudor Moga, magna cum laude. Ayana Rhiannon Rose Ruiz Ognan. Erin Grace O'Leary, magna cum laude. Drew Bailey Perkins, summa cum laude. James Lightman Perry. Simone Marie Peterson. John Walker Phelps. Roxana Elizabeth Popa, magna cum laude. Owen Patrick Porter, summa cum laude. Jackson Christopher Prather. Nicholas Ward Prohaska. Nadiva Afoli Kwe. Gloria Jimena Ramos. William Tanner Ray, summa cum laude. Carly Diane Renison. Samantha Gail Rogers. Diana Isabella Carignan Sandoval. Sophia Fernanda Scharfenberger. Caroline Whitney Schoenig. Robert Burnett Schwab III. Schwab. Matthew Sarin. Caroline Maxon Smith, cum laude. Estefania Solorio Oyade, magna cum laude. Madeline Marie Stanton. Allison Rose Storms. Kaylin Marie Storms, cum laude. Lucy May Swenson, summa cum laude. James Marshall Taylor, Jr., cum laude. Andrew Michael Thole. Aiden Berkeley Thomas. Benjamin Adams Trammell, in absentia, baseball. Catherine Garner Tidings, summa cum laude. Kiersey Joey Vincent. Riley Thomas Wagoner. Sophie Lorelei Watson, in absentia. Annalise Marie Weedman, summa cum laude. Morgan Ashley Wilson, magna cum laude. Jason Wong. Abigail Gwyneth Wolverton, cum laude. Cindy Samaripa. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Darrell Dion Bard. Lucy Claire Basehart, cum laude. Griffin Wayne Batson, cum laude. Elizabeth Love G. Baumgarten, cum laude. Joseph Mullins Becker. John Pollard Beebe. Kathleen Faulkner Beebe. Riley Nicole Bentley. Spencer Jason Berry, cum laude. Carter Barrett Blessing, cum laude. Kristen Denise Bloat, cum laude. Lindsay Catherine Bone. Mason Jeffrey Boone, magna cum laude. Emma Mackenzie Botts. Mia Rose Lonmong Breitenstein, magna cum laude. Paxton Randall Brown. Samuel John Brunner. Mary Margaret Claire Bryant. Robert Giles Bush. Margaret Westphaling Butts. Noelia Lucia Cabredo Irazabal. Jacob Christopher Camacho. Javier Cantu. Allison Elizabeth Carr. Akinpal Singh Chani, cum laude. Margaret McMillan Corbett. Catherine Lee Fari Cox, magna cum laude. John Carter Craddock, cum laude. Joshua Wade Cunningham, in absentia, baseball. Robert Michael Curran II. Mulrali Demaluri, magna cum laude. Eleanor Redmond Davis, magna cum laude. Roma Kishore Desai, summa cum laude. John Alexander Diaz. Christopher Preston Dickerson, magna cum laude. Lauren Grace Dome, magna cum laude. Renee Noel Dozer, cum laude. Natalie Nell Duggins, cum laude. Abby Rose Duncan. Andrew Sweeney Dunn, magna cum laude. Trenton Joshua Dupper, magna cum laude. Olivia Madison Elwell. Susan Gracie Falk. Sophia Antoinette Fisher-Cassio. Allie Grace King Fleeman, cum laude. Carter Owen Floyd, in absentia, baseball. Ashton Walker Foose. Matthew Jefferson Foster, summa cum laude. Lauren Joe Fouch. Riley June Fowler, summa cum laude. Caroline Ruth Frankie, cum laude. Braden Michael French. Juliette Ruby Marie Gallardi. Lily Mae Gom, cum laude. John Philip Gerber, in absentia, baseball. Lillian Elizabeth Giles. Alice Hudson Goff, magna cum laude. Amal Naeem Gundel, magna cum laude. Luis Gonzalez. Seth Azaria Gasser. John Riley Graham. Nicholas Grant. Brian Caldwell Graves, in absentia. Kaylee Renee Gregory. Zachary Scott Gregory II. Temilolua Areola Hostrup, magna cum laude. Connor Lee Hall, cum laude. Brenna Victoria Hammond, summa cum laude. Kyle Clark Hankins. Ethan Stewart Hanna. Jacob Clayton Harper. Everett Dexter Hauser. Bryce Cameron Hendrick. Lauren Riley Hodge. Gavin Wayne Holt. Andrew Warren Huff, magna cum laude. Anne Elizabeth Huffaker, magna cum laude. Caden Christopher Hewitt. Ethan Grant Humphreys. Jessica Erin Inman. Sota Ipanji, cum laude. Jeremy Connor Lee Jackson, cum laude, in absentia, baseball. Abigail Ruth Jameson, magna cum laude. Christina Lynn Jeffers, cum laude. Frank McGinnis Jenkins IV. Andrew Robert Jones. Caleb Robert Jones. Davis Smith Jones, magna cum laude. Monica Yusosovich. Richard Mushiri Kahawai. Aoi Kamayama. William McKinney Kempf, summa cum laude, in absentia, baseball. Taylor Jane Kennedy. Colby Michael Kinzer, summa cum laude. Sarah Grace Kirtland, magna cum laude. Richardson Drake Knowlton IV. Carolina James Walton Laframboise, in absentia, baseball. Samuel Jose Landaverde. William Robert Leach, cum laude. Benjamin Calionzes Link. Natalie Elizabeth Loper. Cameron Michael Love. William Lewis Lovell II, magna cum laude. Gloria Lewin, cum laude. Nikki Mulaki, summa cum laude. Grace Elise Malone, magna cum laude. Greer Elizabeth Manger. Keaton Michael Martin. Sharon Aklilu Mega. Claire Elizabeth Melvin, cum laude. Jess Costley Miller, magna cum laude, in absentia, baseball. Robert Vincent Monaco, in absentia. Chesaman Laren Moore. Robert Lucien Morgan III, in absentia, baseball. Graydon Sean Morris. Jacqueline Marie Mullins, summa cum laude. Isabella Bridgeton Nelson. Patrick Chase Nelson, cum laude. Jill Elizabeth Wen. Kai Ajira Ode. Jeremy Paris Aliges. Nicholas Andrew Osterman. Megan Alexandra Owens. Katie Rose Piccone. Brooke Elise Palmer. Hannah Noea Polly. Luke Caleb Payne, summa cum laude. Nicholas Alexander Perez. Daniel Kelly Perkins. William Ross Perkins, in absentia. Nicholas McGregor Petrie, in absentia. Carly Ray Prather. Zachary Emmanuel Price, in absentia. Grayson David Robiny. Arthur Lee Ray. Ethan Patrick Redmond. Zachary Lane Reiners. William Gibson Reynolds. Lydia Eve Rice. Noah Bryant Ring. Graham Edward Robbins, magna cum laude. Stephen Robert Rout, cum laude. Margaret Louise Sammons, magna cum laude. Zebulon Taylor Sanders. Alexandra Marie Scheite, cum laude. David Jonathan Snyder, cum laude. Noah Madison Scott, magna cum laude. Andrea Reed Searcy. Ian Garrett Sexton. Alexandra Elizabeth Shelley, summa cum laude. Kavely Paresh Sheth, summa cum laude. Maxwell Davis Shoyet, in absentia. Anna Louise Schubert, cum laude. David Samuel Sickles, in absentia, baseball. Megan Elise Sidaway. Shelby Madeline Smith. Buckley Ann Sparks, cum laude. Megan Mackenzie Speth, cum laude. Clayton Richard Stanbury. William Blake Stewart. Rachel Elizabeth Stowe, magna cum laude. Jessica Lauren Strader. Maya Catherine Sudbrock, magna cum laude. Madeline Duvall Sutherland. Charisse Antoinette Sutherland, cum laude. Rebecca Katia Tanis. Harold Eugene Taylor IV, cum laude. Charles Arcadian the Great. Mark Angelo then Baptista. John Carson Thompson, in absentia, baseball. Mia Angelina Tamilo. Emily Tran. Ella Ann Trinan, magna cum laude. Jorge Trejo Fernandez, cum laude. Madison Ann Tremblay, magna cum laude. Madison Victoria Trin, magna cum laude. Stella Rain Ullman. Jocelyn Carolina Vieira Canas. Emma Rose Victoria Vincent, magna cum laude. Sam Edward Vatruba. Catherine Grace Wagner. Meredith Ann Walker, cum laude. Murad Michael Walsh. Luke Valentine Watkins. Haley Raylan Watson. Lauren Willow Watson. Colton Edwin Wessel. Caroline Elizabeth Ann West, magna cum laude. Anya Christine Westfall. Ashton Bruce Witt, magna cum laude. Shelby Grace Woolwinder, cum laude. Jordan Elise Zach, magna cum laude. Benjamin Wiley Zickel. Congratulations to the Center College class of 2024.
Center graduates, alumni of Center College. Although you have accomplished a great deal in your time at Center, your abundant achievements would not be possible without the support of many others, many who are gathered here today with us, particularly family members and our dedicated faculty, those who have given so much to this institution, faculty and staff, Dr. Roush, Susie Roush with us today, so many who have made what we have possible. So let's thank them. At this time, I would like to ask the family members of the graduates to stand and be recognized by the graduates. The family members stand. It is a well-known fact and basically our magic formula. A fact that Center professors give their time and energy to inspire our students to greatness. 8 of these incredible people are retiring this year. Not leaving us, but they're retiring from full-time teaching. With a combined years of service of over 250 years dedication to this college. That's amazing. As we thank all our faculty for their incredible, inspiring service to our students, I want to pay special honor to these scholars, artists, and teachers who have dedicated their careers to Center College students: Mark Lucas, John Wilson, Patrick Kagan Moore, Michael Hamilton, Mark Rasmussen, Andre Nergis, Rick Axtell, and Judith Pointer Kaiser. Thank you. We tend to tuck our faculty in the wings here, although they are the central players in this whole play. And now I would like to ask all the faculty of Center College to stand and be recognized for your amazing contributions to our graduates. Please stand, faculty. I am now pleased to ask Haley Finch, President of the Student Government Association, to the podium to offer a response on behalf of the class of 2024. Haley.
It was the longest walk ever. Thank you, President Moreland, for this and for everything. I thought I would get the lucky task of waking everyone up after listening to 300 names get read, but it seems like President Moreland already energized you all. So good morning to those of you that just took a nap, but hello to the rest of you. The other morning, I was sitting in my Brock early enough that the entire world was still asleep. Never mind the fact that it was 6 a.m. before my final English seminar paper was due and I still had 7 pages to write. I'm sorry, Dr. Kincaid, but thanks for still helping me write this speech. As I sat there and listened to the birds wake up before my roommates did, and I further put off my paper to have my own solemn and poetic moment, I paid particular attention to the decorations of my Brock. Part of a happy birthday sign that was never taken down, a script from a sorority event stuck to the refrigerator, a wall full of photos my roommates and I curated together, tangible memories of college scattered all over the place. I thought, wow, this place is a mess. I also thought, wow, this place feels like a graveyard. In many ways, graduating college feels like a certain death. Everything becomes about lasts, about endings, and about saying goodbye. We receive our flowers and pay our respects to the pieces of us we leave here. They even have us dressed in all black, so we really know what's coming. I first want to say that it is okay to mourn. College is the first home we have built on our own, and though it was always fleeting, it was never temporary. But rather than choosing to write myself a eulogy, I decided that I'd had enough of walking around campus feeling as though I was haunting the place. I looked where I do often when I need to make sense of the world, to the words of former Kentucky Poet Laureate Wendell Berry. Really beautiful Wendell Berry through line running through all of Commencement, isn't it? Berry's advice: go with your love to the fields, lie easy in the shade, rest your head in her lap, swear allegiance to what is nighest your thoughts. As soon as the generals and the politicos can predict the motions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark the false trail, the way you didn't go. Be like the fox, who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. These words are borrowed from Manifesto, the Mad Farmer Liberation Front. If I had it my way, I would just quote the entire poem and sit down, but I can't. This is how the poem ends, following many lines of Berry's advice on how to make meaning out of a simple life. This idea of resurrection seemed embodied by our class. It has been our duty, has it not? We entered college at a time when the grief in the world seemed larger than life, when life as we knew it had come to an end and our energy was spent mourning the first-year experience we'd wished we'd had. In many ways, the end of our high school was also met with a speedy death. But through grit, perseverance, tenacity, we were resurrected. We resurrected ourselves because we had to, and the college, and in many ways, became the class that got to reinvent Center. College is all about small deaths, I've learned. It is about loss and reinvention of the self and coming into adulthood, which no one explains how you should do. Even learning is the process of letting go of previous ideas you had about the world. Growth demands change. You are indescribably different than you were 4 years ago. Celebrate that, mourn that. We've all died once before. I guarantee you can do it again. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge, though, that the word commencement means to begin. This is merely the starting point. Center has been the teacher, the farmer, cultivating and investing in us. And as we begin into the world, it is our duty to sow our own seeds of hope, peace, justice, love, community, brilliance. The part of Wendell poem that I read was the ending, but it left out my favorite part. Invest in the millennium, plant sequoias. As you go out into the real world, I encourage you to live by these words. The world will demand your money, your energy, your labor, your grief, but commit yourself to making things better that you personally may not get to reap the benefits of. Call attention to what matters, even if it only impacts one person. Lead by example, always have courage of conviction, and cultivate a life that challenges you, reinvents you, and inspires you. Believe in resurrection. Believe that every ending is an opportunity to be reborn. Trust that an eternal life is one in which you live for others as much as you live for yourself. It is called commencement. Let us begin.
Thank you, Haley, for your inspiration. And I must say, an inspiring message, but especially for 4 years of inspiration and this past year of leading the student body as the Student Government Association president. You have been spectacular. Thank you. I now welcome Melinda Weathers to join me at the podium to give the Godspeed to the class of 2024. Melinda is a 2002 graduate of Center College, serving as our Chief Diversity Officer this year. Thank you, Melinda, for providing the Godspeed this year to this incredible class.
Thank you so much. Good morning to all, and especially to our graduates. So very proud of all of your accomplishments. In 1998, I walked this stage as a Danville High School graduate. 4 years later, I walked this same stage as a Center College graduate in 2002. Today, 22 years later, I'm dating myself a little bit. I have the distinct honor to give the Godspeed to the class of 2024. To Dr. Moreland, thank you so much for this opportunity. To you, the class of 2004, I offer my heartfelt congratulations and leave you with this hope and wish for your future. May you find steadfast resilience to combat hate and bigotry in this world and see the beauty of our differences. May you embrace the patience to sit through uncomfortable conversations to heal the soul of humanity. May you find the strength to stand for truth and justice at all costs. May the grace you extend be the grace you receive. And may you have faith. Faith in your Creator, faith in yourself, faith in your family, faith in your friends, and faith in your community. Faith. Faith to see the invisible. Faith to expect the incredible. Faith, yes, faith to receive the impossible. May you have faith to reach the unreachable, faith to fight the unbeatable, faith to remove the unmovable, faith that stands the invincible. May you have that unwavering faith that can conquer anything. I leave you with the wisdom of my late father, who said to me often, "You didn't come this far just to come this far." Graduates, take the next leap into a future of endless possibilities. We have your back. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Thank you, Melinda. As we conclude today's commencement exercises, at the end of the singing of the alma mater and the benediction, please remain at your seats until the completion of the recessional of the graduates. Following the recessional, we invite you to join your graduate on the Norton Center lawn and for the commencement picnic on the Susie Miller Roush lawn outside the Roush Campus Center across the street. And now I invite everyone who is able to please stand for the alma mater printed at the end of your program and being led today by William Lovell II. Please remain standing for the benediction from Reverend Jason Crosby.
Santa dear, we offer thee love profound and praises free. Where thy walls of ivy rise, God unseals our blinded eyes. Where thy tree-lined pathways lure, friendship spring eternal shore. For thy gifts we offer thee, Center dear, our loyalty. We, thy sons and daughters free, through the truth revealed by thee, strong in resolution rise to the future's enterprise. Duty is our beacon pure, honor is our standard sure. For thy gifts we offer thee, Center dear, our loyalty.
And may we all hear these final words of blessing and benediction. We've traveled difficult terrain, walked through long and winding valleys to reach the mountaintop that is this moment. And yet outside for us all, beyond the confines of this campus, the road ahead is long, and our time is so precious and short, and more challenges await. Therefore, may we all go forth with the knowledge that the love and support of this community always surrounds us, and that the grace of God always shines upon us, so that each of us may participate in the labor that is the healing and the redeeming of our world by doing justice, loving mercy, and walking humbly with God. Amen.
Shut up. Just don't think about it.
Done, I'm out of here.
Gavin.